Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. So today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I wanted to do a steampunk inspired look. Never did anything like this on my channel before. Don't even know if I can pull it off, to be honest, so it won't be a tutorial to follow. It'll be more like an experiment to see if I can do it. But I've got the Star Wars palette and I've got the Melt Gemini palette, and they've both got those sort of rusty metallic kind of coppery, bronzy kind of tones that I think will be perfect for a look like this. And I just wanted to do a look that proves that neutrals are not necessarily boring as well. So I'm going to get a little bit playful with this one and, yeah, as I say, try and create something that's steampunk-esque. So without further ado, I'll scooch you in and we'll get started. Okay, so I've done my base makeup already and we're going to do cheeks together, and we're going to use the Lunatick's Contour Book 1, but we're also going to use the 2 as well, which is the deeper one. But I'm going to start by just building up a bit of base of contour with this palette in the way that I normally do. So I just take these 3 shades, but there's a quite bronzy shade in the other palette and we're going to warm up the face with that. As I say, to start us off, I just dip into all 3 of those and just want to take a bit of a line there just to start us off. Now normally I would do sort of circular motions to blend this out, but I don't want to do that today because I want quite a structure to the contour that I'm going to do, which I think will look pretty cool for this kind of a look that I'm planning to do. I'm not going to leave it like this, but this is just like to give us the guidelines of what I want to do with the contour. This is an extreme structure contour brush. It's the one I normally use, but as I say, I'm not blending it, I'm more just sort of stroking it along and only bringing it about before my eye starts. If you bring it in too far, it doesn't have the desired effect of like chiseling your cheeks out, and it can be quite unflattering. So just to there really. Okay, so that's kind of got the shape that I want, and it is, as I say, pretty harsh at the moment. Now I want to start kind of warming the face up a little bit. I think I am going to go into the Contour Book 2, which is the green one. Don't know if I've ever shown you this one on my channel, but I've done eye looks with this one, but I've never been brave enough to use it on my face. It's very deep. It's meant obviously for deeper skin tones than mine, but we're going to use a combination of these 2 shades as kind of a blushy, bronzy kind of contour to the face. So I'm just dipping into both of those, and then I've got a soft angled contour brush. I'm just going to use the shape of that to start building up that contour. Now don't worry that it's kind of a bit insane at the moment because we are going to blend that out. Just using the brush to make that shape that I'm looking for. Right, now we need to start blending that out. I'm going to use this brush now to start blending that out and really start to soften the line of that, but I still wanted quite a sharp contour when it's done. So it's going to take a little while just to soften that out a little, but it is softening quite well. And we're going to go in with a almost orangey blush over the top in a moment. Well, it is an orangey blush. Now we're getting a bit more of the colour and the shape that I'm looking for. I'm going to go in next with Contortion from the Lightly Makeup Clown Blush palette, so this one here, and a fairly light hand because this is a scary blush, but it is very orange toned and that's what I want, and I want to take it around the hairline as well. So I'm just dipping that to the pan and I'm using a really big brush now to position that. That's why I wanted a strong contour underneath so that it can handle this amount of orange that we're laying down over the top. Now I have no prior knowledge of doing this kind of makeup at all, but I was looking at the shades in the Star Wars palette and I thought they're very steampunk-esque, and so I went down a bit of a rabbit hole of looking at pictures of steampunk makeup with all like clocks on people's faces and just amazing talent that people have got. But I just wanted something, a nod to that, but something a bit more wearable than that. but still something a little bit fun to do as well. Just taking a bit of that orangey blush just on my forehead as well. We're really starting to get the warmth and the kind of shape that I was looking for into the look. Just adding a bit of it at a time with this because it's probably one of the most pigmented blushes in my collection. Well, it is the most pigmented, I would say. Now I want to incorporate some gold into the look. So I've got a pigment from Sugarpill and it's called Goldilux, and we're going to use that as highlight. I don't know if I can show you the colour of this pigment. So it's going to be quite insane, I think, but I think it could work. So this entire thing's just going to be an experiment, and if it doesn't work then the video won't see the light of day, but I think it could be cool if it works. So I'm just taking a bit of that pigment and I'm using that over the top of where I've put that orange blush. So I really want to get that sheen of gold that you wouldn't get from a highlight. And if you can see what that's doing. That's worked better than I was daring to hope. I'm going to tap the brush off a little bit so it doesn't come on too insane. I do like the effect it's giving, so I'm just really buffing that in now. I love that already. I'm going to prime with the MAC Soft Ochre PaintPot. Just want to cover my redness really so that we can go in for shadows. For the eye look, I want quite a structured shape, a big wing that sweeps up and kind of another wing underneath it, and an extended inner corner as well. So we're going to go for it in this one. I've got all three of the Star Wars palettes, and the reason that I wanted to use those is some really metallic shades in here. So we're going to be using, out of the Sith Seduction palette, we're going to be using this shade here, the copper shade. And then from the Divine Droid, we're going to be using this kind of a bit more pewtery, gunmetal-y kind of bronzy shade. And from the Golden One palette, there's an amazing gold in the centre, so we're going to use that as well. So they're going to be our lid shades, but we need to get some structure to the look first. So I'm going to go in with the Melt Gemini palette. It'll be the first time I've used it, and we're going to start doing a wing but with the black eyeshadow. Now the shadow in here is called Bonnie. Never used it, I don't know how good a black it is, but we'll find out. I've got an eyebrow brush here, but I'm going to use that to kind of get the shape that I want. So I'm just pressing the brush into that shadow. I'm going to use that to, as I say, give us the shape, and I want to come up pretty high. Like I normally come out a bit more that way with a wing, but I want to come up quite high with it. I think this black's going to be good for what I want to do. Probably going to need to close my eye to do this. There we go, I want that sort of a shape in the outer corner. I'm going to take that shadow through the crease as well. Probably not with this brush actually, it's probably not the easiest brush to do it with. We'll see, might work. Sorry that I'm going to have to keep holding my lid down, but the nature of the beast when your eyes are as old as mine is that they're quite crinkly, so it definitely helps. So that's the kind of shape that I want, and I'm going to just fill that in with the shadow. And I'm not bringing that all the way into the corner, I'm sort of bringing it sideways now, so that we've got more space at the front there. So I'm just going to catch the other eye up to this point. Right, so now I want to bring the shadow down on my lower lash line. I'm going to use a flat definer, just might be easier for there. This black shade, the Bonnie shade, is pretty decent. It's alright. You never know with a black, do you, how it's going to be. It's not too fallout heavy. Now I'm really wanting this to be strong, but I am going to blend this out. So I'm packing that into the outer corner, and I'm going to bring it down like that so that we've got a bit of a false inner tear duct area there. Just letting the brush do the work there. It's just literally pressing the brush. I'll take the very tip of a blending brush and blend underneath now. I'm also going to use that same brush just to diffuse above as well. I'm going to add some more shadow there with other colours, but it'll help if that black is diffused just a little as well. And we'll probably need to go back in and re-intensify this black as well. But this is getting our overall guidelines for the shape down. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Polka Dot, this one here, and I'm going to blend above that black with that shade. Don't know how pigmented that shade's going to be, so we're taking it nice and slow. So I'm placing it first, and then starting to blend. It's a good colour actually, don't mind that as a colour. Still want to maintain this outer corner shape if we can. So just small amounts at a time. Circular motions, and stopping when we get to that line that we've got there at the front. We don't want to bring this down too far. I love that so far, that's what I was after. Underneath that wing shape, I'm just bringing a few bits of that shadow down. It's like, just to kind of almost make it look dirty and almost like it sort of blends into the cheek products. And the same on this side as well. And I'm going to go into Lorelei, this one here, and just further blend above the line we've made there, using a very sparing amount of that. Just bringing that up into the brow area there. I'm going to re-intensify our black because we've lost a little bit of the shape and a little bit of the blackness in this outer corner, which I really want to keep. So take a bit of this Lorelei shade, the kind of pukey brown shade, and do the same as I did with the polka dot shade, just downward motions. Alright, now I'm going to go in with NYX Glitter Primer so that I can start using shimmers on the lid. I'm not going to be too precise with this, just make sure I've got some down just to help those shimmers pop to the most potential that they can. So the first shimmer we're going to use is Bronze Circuit from this palette, which is the Divine Droid palette. I'm going to take that into the outer corner here, sort of on a diagonal motion. I've got a bit more black on this side, but that's fine. I'm covering it up with the shimmer there. That's a beautiful shade. These palettes didn't get much hype at all, like people didn't seem to like them. I think these are beautiful. I'm going to go for the copper colour, which is called Mustafa Heat. I'm going to put that in the centre and wait till you see this shade. It is so, so pretty. I think that's really set the look off. For the inner part of the eyelid and this extended inner corner, we're going to use Gold Etiquette, which is this one from the Golden One palette. And that's pretty much the look to this point. So I'm going to hop off camera just for something in my waterline, for mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the final steampunk inspired look. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I love how it turned out. It was so much fun to do, and I think just taking that steampunk inspiration just really gave me something to run with. And you know, it's got the essence of it. It's not perfect, it's not taking it all the way there like some people have done. I mean, there's some amazing tutorials for steampunk on YouTube, but it's got that vibe of it, I think. And yeah, I think it looks really, really cool. For lips today, I've used a Kat Von D Steady Kiss lipstick in the shade Sanctuary, and then I've pressed some of that Sugarpill Goldilux pigment over the top just to give us that metallic vibe so that it matches what's on the cheeks as well. And it's been fun using the Sugarpill pigment as well. I've got quite a few of those, and I want to start to incorporate those into a bit more whimsical kind of looks like this, because they're perfect for that. The Star Wars palettes are fantastic. Don't know why they didn't get as much hype as I think they deserved. It's because they're pretty much all metallics. Some people don't want a whole palette of metallics, but I've got lots of mattes, and the shades of these metallics and just how foiled they are, that one that's the coppery tone is just stunning, but they're all lovely. And I really think the black is fantastic in that melt palette as well. So this was just so much fun to do. So I hope you enjoy seeing these kind of a bit more creative ones. I just get bored of seeing the same things on YouTube, and you've got to be the change you want to see. You know, if you want to see something different, you can't keep making the same content as everybody else and expect like the content out there to change. So yeah, I just want to bring something a little bit different on my channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel and this is your first video of mine, then hi and welcome. I hope you might consider subscribing before you go. Other than that, guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.